What does your handwriting say about you?
Cute.
Quick.
Disturbed.
Antsy.
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
Did I use the right word?
You said antsy?
I mean, I understood. And
Like,
yes,
what am I trying to say by that?
when I look at your handwriting, I feel antsy.
I'm just like I can't sit still.
Is that what you're trying to say?
What does antsy mean again?
You're right. That is what antsy
Like, I'm
is.
just trying to quickly
Yep.
get it written. Like, I'm thinking quicker than I can write. I think that's
Rush?
everybody, right? You're thinking quicker than you can. Like, when
No,
you take
you're
notes,
writing quicker than you could think.
No way. In school, like when you're taking notes while they're being said to you,
I'm
you're
writing
just
before I'm
quickly writing
thinking.
whatever you think of.
No, I'm writing and then I'm thinking,
You write quicker than you can think?
yeah.
Well, when you're taking notes, sometimes you're not like,
Like
comprehending
I absorb at the end of the sentence. Like after the sentence is written, I
That's what I'm
understand what it was written. But that's after I'm done writing it. No?
How is that? How are you writing
she's still,
before
like-
the?
she's still like thinking, but it's like, subliminal,
It's like,
subconscious
that's
thinking.
like in the background.
Yeah.
My hand, like me writing goes first.
I think I write in cursive.
No, you don't.
I mean, not cursive. Sorry, in italics,
Oh, yeah.
and that's because I'm
Sort of.
trying to, like, speed
You
right.
think
I don't know.
quicker than you write. Wouldn't that help you write neater?
No.
What are
Yeah.
you writing?
Because if you think quicker, then you have enough time to
What are
be
you
able to-
writing? I'm just like in a.
First of all, who's writing? what are we writing?
The time is just racing all the time. I don't know. What was your guys'?
Mine was cute.
I feel like you would have said cute for anything.
Are you the
No.
type of girl, like when you take notes, you like highlight everything, change the colors?
Oh, not that.
Based on that?
If I like really need to absorb something, I used to just highlight certain things, like different subjects, whatever, but I am not like changing the font of what
Okay.
I'm writing,
Bro,
whatever.
there was this girl I went to high school with that had highlighters laid out and then the different pens.
Yeah.
If I told you who it was, you probably remember
Say
it.
her name,
but,
bro.
Call
Just
her out.
kidding.
No, just
Don't,
kidding.
don't.
No.
There was a meme on like
First name, Brooke. Maybe you could.
Okay. That doesn't narrow it down.
Well, it's
based on where we went to school.
it was
doesn't
just
narrow
like
it.
so many different,
Colors.
and she was changing it and she was keeping up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
like, I
sometimes
don't
like it helps you categorize. Cause like on my computer later on, I used to do that.
You know what
when I was
also
in college.
helps you categorize? Draw a line,
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
right? New subject.
There's a meme on Twitter where girls would write like that, and then the topic would be like slavery. And they're
Oh
like,
yeah, and they're like writing it all
God,
like
all cute,
beautifully,
yeah.
and they're like Holocaust, like with butterflies around and shit.
no.
It's the aesthetic.
What was yours?
I said quick. Like
Oh,
I'm just
quick.
trying to write quick. I'm not thinking about like how my writing looks.
Yeah.
But it still looks pretty good, I think.
Riley?
Mine is like it progressively gets worse. Like my hand starts cramping, and
What
then
did you say yours was?
Oh, disturbed.
Are you disturbed?
That's a good one though.
like disturbed as in if the teacher saw your paper turned in, she'd be like,
Are
is
you
everything
okay?
okay at home?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I
Wow.
answered wrong there. I don't know if it's that bad.
He's drawing like blood at the bottom, like that font that comes
Dead.
You can see the pain my hand is in. Like I don't know about you guys. Like since we don't write things anymore, like it hurts to actually write a few pages of like stuff.
Yeah, if I don't write for a while, I'm like, how do you do this again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I like writing more than I like typing. Way
Working
more.
with kids made me write more like bubblier. But the one thing that always makes even the kids mad is my A's have that hook at the top
Oh, okay.
and then do it. And I like forced myself to do in high school at some point or middle school. And then now I can't stop. Like I can't stop now.
I heard you also remember things more when you write them down instead of typing.
Typing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I write all of my notes for my class right now. Even though I could
Like write
type
them
them.
out.
Yeah, I write them all on paper.
Go writing.
Go
Yeah.
writing. Well, guys, thank you for tuning into an episode of Strange Flavors. My name is Shamir.
I'm for us.
My name is Amber.
And on the Strange Exchange today, we have our good friend Riley, who's back on the podcast. So we'll be chatting with him.
Yep. This is the strangest and greatest podcast in the game, brought to you by Alif Theory. If you'd like to email us or send us your music, strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com. You can get your dope Strange Flavors merch at strangeflavors.store. And if you'd like to support this podcast and be part of Strange Flavors Town, you can donate with a link down below and be part of Strange Flavors Town, such as Barbara's Bagels, Cassie's Cupcakes, Airhouse Ices, Freehouse Falafels, Uslam's Apples, Shamil's Shawarmas.
You said it wrong.
No, I did not.
We got another
Shawarma.
decoration piece. The Pizza Planet truck.
It's so cute.
Right here. Looks really nice. It's
Another-
pretty heavy for like a little car.
It's a Hot Wheel.
Yeah, it's like
Dude, it's an
thick.
antique.
Where did you get that from?
eBay. I think it's actually a replica
It's like,
because I saw on there, I was like, those are expensive.
Yeah.
And then I saw one that was a little bit cheaper. And then I was like, why is this one like that? And then I read it later when it actually got shipped and it said like replica on it. But in the casing and everything, it looked all authentic. But I guess
Wow.
that's what China does.
Dang, you got a fake one, dude.
Wow.
Well, it's for the aesthetic. So but you said it's heavy. It's
These
good
are
quality.
collecting
Yeah.
value for us. Make sure you buy the nicest ones because they're not going to collect value for being what they are, but for being a part of this show.
I'm excited for, we said that, anybody could send in other fictional restaurant decorations and someone is sending one in. I'm not going to mention what it is
Ooh.
right now, but I'm super excited for it.
Yeah.
And if you want to send one in,
Let us
DM us,
know.
email us at Strange Flavors.
And you can see it on our
strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com.
beautiful set.
Yo.
Yeah. The set is expanding.
Yes.
Riley Battaglia is back in town.
Welcome
Yes, sir.
back.
What a fun last name.
oh,
Very Italian, right?
yeah, and it's like kind of embarrassing because I don't pronounce it right. Like,
That
pronounce-
sounds
how are you
like a
supposed to pronounce it?
pasta.
yeah. So or
That's racist.
I had a student. No. I had a student call me Mr. Barilla, like the pasta brand. You know, like I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Barilla. Yeah. I mean, it's not even close, but like haha. Yep. Right.
But they saw the Italian guy.
Yeah. Italian. You know.
Do you go by Mr. B?
At my current job, we go by our first names because it's very progressive. You know. And-
Wow.
First
But,
names, is that the new
Wait, like,
wave?
Yeah.
wait, the students call you your first name?
yeah. They do.
Mine did too.
Not
I
even-
was Miss
Yeah.
Amber.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not
there's,
even.
there's still the miss, right?
Do they say
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Riley?
No,
or-
they just say Riley.
Oh, no, that's disrespectful.
Woke school.
What grade is your kids?
Other high schoolers.
But they just be calling you by your name.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
what's good, Riley? Like,
It is
as
a bit
teacher,
weird.
like,
Yeah. It's
You know,
strange.
I don't know about you
What?
guys, but in our culture, obviously, we address any of our elders as uncle and auntie, right?
Yep.
So all growing up, it was always weird to me what I address all of my friends' parents as. Like sometimes it was, I would
Oh,
say
yeah.
Mr. or Mrs. whatever, but a lot of times they were like, oh no, just call me Jim or something. And I was like,
White parents.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's what we grew up around.
White parents like slap me in the face. It's okay. Tell me my food sucks. Like it doesn't matter. Like I love you.
Well, it was uncomfortable because I was so used to it. And
Yeah.
even in other cultures, sometimes you just address the elders as something else.
Yeah.
Even if you're not related to them, they're not friends,
Well,
store owner, whatever.
I appreciate it because they want to be on your level. Like, that's kind of what the white parents are like.
no,
They're
but
like,
it's for me, it's a respect
yeah,
thing.
yeah. For us, it's
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
Like, we're
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
the
yeah.
respect. So it's like weird when parents are trying to be like on our level. Like, yo,
Yeah.
just call me Jim. It's like, no, you're older than me. Like, I have to respect you.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, to be honest, my mom's from the South. She's from Louisiana, and it's the same there. Like it's ma'am, sir.
Ma'am,
like
yeah.
it is in most of the South, just the same as what you're describing.
actually-
It's just
Even
maybe
in college.
yeah,
It's like
exactly.
professor.
Yeah.
I actually love the Southern style and etiquette because of that. Like, I know a lot of people are like, this is outdated and stuff, but I think that level of respect that is mutually known is a really nice thing to have.
And the
Yeah.
hospitality also like matches
Hospitality.
what we,
Yeah.
kind of grew up with as
Right
well.
Riley and I grew up together. If you guys haven't heard the episode that he was on, I would strongly recommend you pause this, listen to that because it's super entertaining. It was about, I'm forgetting what the title, do you remember what the title was?
Something about rotating between vomiting and pooping
And diarrhea.
And diarrhea, yeah.
Vomiting
Prior
and
to
diarrhea.
us.
Yeah, before you
Yeah.
guys were co-hosts.
Yeah.
So was this like 2018, 2017?
It was probably like 2017. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
So yeah, let's catch up since then because Riley is a traveler and a doer of all interesting things. I want to mention after that, I think the time we saw you was when Shamir and I and our friends we were going to Chicago. On the way, we stopped in Cleveland.
Yo.
Can we talk about this real quick? Like the
Yeah.
Cleveland experience?
Yeah. I mean, how was it?
Well, for us, it was depressing.
Yeah.
It was like I always say this, it was like a perfect movie set for an indie film.
Yeah.
That's
And-
true, yeah.
And, but the thing that really scarred me was your cat.
The cat.
Oh, the cat wouldn't let you sleep. You like spraying it.
I love cats.
I heard about this cat.
I love cats.
Shout
but
out Otto.
Otto was
Oh, such a cute name.
I know.
Yeah.
Otto was
Like from Rocket Power?
Yeah, like, well, no, I don't know why we got that name. I wanted to name him something else, but my roommate and I compromised on Otto. But I like that name.
It's such
Rocket
a cat
Power,
name,
yeah.
though.
yeah.
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 And I think when we got there, Riley hadn't been there for a week. I don't think none of your roommates had been there for a week.
Yeah.
And so your cat hasn't seen a human being in a week.
Yeah, I would just leave him there.
And he was so excited to see human beings, and he was really attached to me.
Yeah, because he knew he could smell your fear.
It wasn't the
knew
fear. He knew I had work to do.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Shamir was like editing the vlogs.
I was editing the
Daily,
vlogs.
right?
Yeah, now I remember. Yep.
And so then he was like, oh, yeah, he's awake. Everyone else is sleeping.
Yep,
Let me
yep.
make it worse for him when he's trying to sleep.
Did he
And
like
what-
walk
didn't
on
you
your
say-
computer?
Yeah.
What's up?
Did he walk on your computer or anything?
He walked on my computer.
Oh,
When I tried to
geez.
sleep, he tried to sleep on my lap.
Yeah.
Did not
some of
let me
the
sleep.
guys we would exchange. We were trying to like toss the cat in each other's rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So like at one point, I think
Poor
towards the
cat.
morning, like Saad and I, our friend Saad, we were in the same room, and someone released the cat and then closed the door in our room, and then we literally like got up, our eyes half closed, picked it up, put it back with Shamir, and we just hear no.
Is the
the
cat like
hallway.
meowing or something? Like, why is it bothering you so much at night?
It's just a very attached cat. It just like it doesn't
wanted-
mind its business.
It was super friendly. Don't get me wrong. If during the day, I would love to touch it, like play around with it. It
Yeah.
was so cute. But like at night, I'm trying to get my work done, and it was like needing attention.
okay,
Very
but
cute cat.
Does he look like he could do anything?
That Joan is evil. That Joan is evil.
oh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
Can we get if we could see that? I
Cat
don't know.
close up.
Probably can't see it.
Yeah.
But no, I want to talk about like the Cleveland experience is kind of funny because at that point in your life, like you ditched everything
Yeah.
to move with a girl
Yeah.
in Cleveland,
Ooh.
and then like that didn't go through.
Sure.
And you're in this like one of what people think is like the worst cities in America
Yeah.
by yourself, and the whole reason you moved there was because. of her.
That's brave. How'd
Well,
you get to do that?
You don't know that I might have loved Cleveland, and wanted to always live there. No, yeah, I mean, so the thing is, like, you say like, oh, it's like a worse city, like it's depressing, right? But in that situation is like where you make the best friends, right? Because you've got like 9 months of winter, you've got just
God.
like, yeah, it's just brutal, like, and you just bond with people. My job there was like really difficult.
Was everybody there depressed?
I wouldn't say depressed, but definitely
Mellow.
drinking.
So depressed.
Yeah, I think when we got there, actually, there was nobody anywhere, right? We were like, where is everyone? We were walking around like,
Yeah.
it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is there, right?
Yeah, did you guys go?
We didn't go inside, but we were
We
outside.
were chilling outside.
But no one was anywhere. And
Yeah.
then we go by the bars and they're just packed.
Packed.
Yeah,
Damn.
And we were like, oh, this is,
Yeah, and I think it's like, I don't want to stereotype the entire Midwest, but it's very much like, let's pack it in. Let's just, have a good time, get a little bit of alcohol in our system and root on our whatever sports teams we have. In Cleveland, they had LeBron at the
Yeah,
time.
and there's
so
LeBron posters everywhere.
yeah, they're riding LeBron. And, but this is like the middle of America. This is the part of America that, it's good to experience, for better or for worse. And, I really have nothing but nice things to say about the people that I met there, and I'm glad that I had the experience. But at the end of the day, it was like when it was time to leave, I was like, yeah, I'm out. Like I grew up on the East Coast. Like
so
where
you made
know.
like what you could out of the experience.
yeah, totally. Like
Yeah.
it was cool. I'm trying to think what I did for fun. Like I would go bowling.
Well, you left for fun. You like, I think
Yeah.
we had picked you up when you got back from some island.
Yeah, I was in the
Or
Bahamas.
the Bahamas, yeah.
But
Like,
I was
fled.
I was gonna ask, like, I don't want to get too deep into like the relationship stuff.
Sure,
but
sure,
like
sure.
after that split, like, was it, being sad, like kind of like alone there, or like
What an indie movie.
It was
Yeah.
yeah. So it was actually like actually for the better, right? Because it's hard to say because the breakup.
Did she live there? And then you just were like, let me join you over there?
She lived here because we went to school here, and then I did this whole thing in Morocco. She went back to Ohio, and then when I came back from Morocco, I was looking for work, and it was between Baltimore and Cleveland. It was over a few months. Settled on Cleveland, got a job, got out there, got my apartment set up, and it was almost as like. As soon as I finished signing the lease, it was like we pretty much broke up. Like you sign one of those year-long leases. I don't know. Like she just wasn't about it. Like, and I knew it. I could sense it. And
Is that why you moved there? Because you're like trying to fix it?
No.
you already signed the-
I
it was
moved
before.
there. It was like there was like months of like, hey, should we do this? Like, and it was like, yes, let's do it. But then like actually me going there, like that actual commitment, probably a few things about my personality on top of that. Probably like, just I don't know, like
I mean, it doesn't work out sometimes.
didn't work out, but it happened right at the beginning. So it was like, okay, I got like 9 months to kill at least, because I was a school teacher, and it's like you can't leave the kids, especially in the kids that were in the situation like that I was teaching. Like they need teachers to.
Are you allowed
be
to say what it
there.
was for or no?
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
the-
it was with like Teach for
Teach for
America.
America.
Yeah, and it's like the biggest problem is like teachers that like leave in the middle of the year. It's already hard to find teachers, and so I was like, yeah, like I can't leave in the middle of the year, and it just wasn't practical. So it was really hard, but like that's the thing, like it just forced me to make friends, and it's kind of similar to all my other travel experiences where I am just alone. It prepared me for just being like a solo traveler in general.
Well,
Like
you had that same experience in Morocco, right? Where
I kind
you
of
were
did.
you were going there,
Yeah.
and then you ended up in kind of like this village that was literally they knew even in Morocco, it's like a very sort of what do you call it? Like a very close niche community.
Yep.
That like there's a huge language barrier. They don't
Yeah.
know anything,
Mm.
and then you're kind of like having to
Yeah.
adjust. It's like
versus wild.
not Man versus Wild, but like I was trying to think of the one where like you just kind of
Naked
throw
and
yourself
Afraid.
into. It's
No, I'm
not
just
like
kidding.
going to.
You're afraid.
Yeah.
It's not like going to Casablanca and like you're
Going
hanging
to a
out with.
resort.
So
or
yeah, this
something
is-
like
Yeah, this is one thing I should say.
Remote village.
Yeah, I should say this about all these countries. Like there's a huge urban rural divide similar to what we have in this country. So yeah, you could go to an urban area in Morocco and pretty much have all of the amenities that you have here, and not experience a huge culture shock. Because with just globalization and social media and technology, like the world is more similar. It's becoming more similar, and you can have that comfort in a lot of different places. But when you go out to the village is where you really get like that cultural experience. You start to notice those things, and yeah, you might experience,
do you
culture shock
seek
or
those culture shocks? Do you want to experience that? Is that why
yeah, like I think the way I travel, like I'll go do the touristy things. Like, if it's like, oh, we got to go see the pyramids, like you're going to do that. Right. But the things I remember are like trying to engage with people. It's been difficult during COVID, but like just sitting around, like, I don't know, a group of men at a cafe and just watching how they interact, or watching like mothers with their kids and just like seeing how like all these different relationships look in different cultures and different places. Like it's fascinating. It's essentially just people watching, right? Like,
I mean, at the time though, I remember that you have a really good attitude about it then and afterwards, but definitely you can kind of sense. Like I've had a few phone calls with you while you're in the middle of either the Morocco situation, the Cleveland situation, or like other ones where you're just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know where my life is going. And like,
Sure.
how much of it is like, you're just kind of throwing yourself into a situation and you're like, whatever happens, happens. And then being like, I don't know, like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, part of that is like, at least with the international stuff, it's like we grow up thinking that we are like exceptional because we're American or something. Our propaganda, our media teaches us that like we have something to offer the world. We need to give the world this and bring vaccines and money and investment. And it's like when you go to a country, you have that like savior mentality, whether you try to or not in the beginning, right? And then you have to realize like that, like this whole thing, like you're not special, like you're just having an experience. It doesn't need to be anything specific. And I think the problem with the way I would travel in the beginning or move to different cities in the US is I would have these expectations, like I need to accomplish this, and this, when really all I need to do is like absorb, and I've had the privilege of being able to live in places long enough to actually spend the time to just soak it up. Some people, they can only go for like 2 weeks, but
was that freeing, like to kind of know that, hey, maybe I'm just like another person absorbing?
yeah,
life?
like you're not anything. You're just there, and you're just a part of it. And stop putting that pressure on yourself. And it comes from, I don't want to say it comes from like arrogance, but it's just like how we were raised. Like, I don't know, we're raised thinking it,
I feel like the absorbing is what makes you more wiser though. Like,
Yeah.
because that's when you're able to like, it's like the equivalent life experience equivalents of listening instead of talking.
Well, also your experience is unique because, I mean, not just to you, but where we grew up. Riley and I, we have been childhood friends. We went to school together, and in our town, it's kind of like a rural farm, all kind of country, but
It's like everything, like it's rural,
suburbia.
suburban. Yeah.
Yeah, but like even with your family, you know, you mentioned you have some of them from Louisiana. They have the kind of like Southern mentality. Sometimes you say like, "Oh, I'm going to this place," and they'll warn you about all types of things. But like, how do you separate yourself from that and like grow that sort of curiosity for, I'm just gonna go here regardless of like what your upbringing is?
Yeah, it comes down to exposure, and like once again, just the privilege of being able to have that exposure. Like I've tried to really think about that when dealing with like my relatives, is like there's that temptation, like especially with our generation, because we have access to so much information, like you were saying, to just like lecture older people and be like, that's racist, that's this. And the reality is, because of the sacrifices they made, I'm able to get exposed to all these different cultures and learn these things. So I can't just like lash out at them. I have to do it in a wiser way. And so, yeah, I still have relatives that'll say xenophobic things or, you know, like Islamophobic things, like, you know, for example, and not like my parents, for example, like they're so close to me. They get it at this point. Right. But like uncles and stuff like that. And you just have to be like, you know, instead of getting frustrated, you just say like,
You have to speak their language.
yeah, you just say, no, actually this is,
You have to be Islamophobic back.
no, exactly. Yeah. No, you just say, no, actually, it's funny you say that. This is how it actually was. And you just continue the conversation. You don't react to what they're saying. Cause I think a lot of times they're like kids, they're looking for a reaction. They make like a comment looking for me they know where I stand. They know what I believe in. And a lot of times they're just trying to see if I'm going to take the bait. And I'm like, nope, I'm just going to tell you about my experience. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to just totally blow off the fact that you're trying to get me to.
You say that like
Say
they
something.
know where you stand. Do you think that like, is that similar to where you stood growing up, or did that change through travel?
Yeah, I mean, I would never like, because I don't know, growing up, because I guess like we became friends, like high school, I would say, right? So I got like exposure, and not only to you, just, I mean, we even know Hartford County is what it is, you know, it's like we still got a decent amount of exposure at a young enough age. But I would say growing up, because of the time, especially we always talk about 9/11, right? Being such a formative like event for you, for any of us, right? Just whatever side of it you're on. There was like always that underlying fear, right? We're getting all these movies coming out every year about like terrorism and
Mark Wahlberg.
Clint Eastwood and the SEALs. And so like, I definitely would say that there was I remember being like Obama winning in 2008, and my mom and like me, I don't know, what was I in 2008, like 13 or 12?
Yeah.
And like that fear of like, he might be a Muslim, like, but like, what is that even like? That's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, right? But I remember having that, like that feeling, not anything like overwhelming, right? But so yeah, like this is the other thing, especially you got to watch with white people, right? Especially the woke ones. Like they act like they've always been there. The reality is that most of us haven't. Like, and that's okay. Like, how would we know any better until you get exposed?
I think it's important to admit too. Like
it
might seem cooler to be that way, but I think that it's more relatable for other people. And if you really want other people to kind of absorb possibly other white people, then they should hear that like, okay, I stood on your side at one point, but I've grown in this way.
Well, we also talk to our parents in the same way, because they, you know, our communities, especially the elders, have their own set of like, you know, these beliefs that are totally ridiculous, as you were saying, you know, about other races and
or cultures,
other cultures, and how things should be and how you should be towards it. So I think a lot of people have, you know, somebody that they're having to kind of speak to in a certain way. Some people choose to be like, oh yeah, like this is offensive for me to relate to. And some people are like, this is my reality and I love these people. And so we just have to, you know, get to a mutual understanding. Even with your friends though, right? Like when you come back, I'm always kind of curious, because it's like your friend group, And I know like one of them, so I don't know if there's like other ones that you kind of go to, but they are definitely not on the same level as you when it comes to like travel and all of that stuff. So
country music, they're on a different level though.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like lonely as far as like your experiences and knowledge of everything? Because not only do you travel a lot, but you know a lot of like geography and
yeah. There's this joke amongst my friends, like that group of friends. Riley's always right because I'm always trying to like, oh no, this is actually how it is, and I've pulled back on that, right? Because once again, it's like that. I've been lucky to have experiences, but you can't just come back and expect everybody to know, what you've seen, and yeah, it's a bit isolating. But at the same time, I have this split value of like go out and experience the world, connect with people, but also don't burn the bridges with like where you came from, family, friends that have known you since you were small. And a lot of that's being challenged right now, just the way that the country is, the way that the politics are. I've struggled with it, but I really think that it's important that you try to maintain those relationships as long as it's healthy for you and for them, and you're doing it with the right intentions and everything. But
I think it's easier for people to write you off if you burn off the bridges too.
Yeah.
Like he's just like that. He kind of whatever had this blowout or whatever. Whereas if you're like level-headed enough, but we agree we're on different pages, slowly I feel like you inch towards, both ways understanding.
And like an example of that is I have one friend who you probably know who I'm thinking of, but he's like definitely more on the Trump train, that kind of thing, right?
full MAGA.
I've heard, full MAGA. I've heard things that are concerning, and I don't want to like throw him under the bus, right? But like
throw him under the bus,
kind of in that realm, right?
He's a nice and cool guy. Like I follow him.
Right, but at the same time,
I'm just making entertaining.
It's like this. It's like this disconnect. Yeah, I'm gonna throw him under the bus. It's like we're gonna see each other out. He's gonna be like, "Hey, yo, listen to that." No, it's like there's this disconnect between what people say, like these are my views, and then how they are person to person. And I really love putting them in that in-person situation. For example, so I've heard this person say things that you could classify as Islamophobic or xenophobic, right? But then because of you, like I got connected with IRC and I developed a relationship working with, refugees from Syria. And at one point, they came over for dinner, and when he was one of my roommates, and we had like the greatest dinner, all of us, like the way they're connecting. He's super interested in like hearing their story, and just like when it comes to that personal relationship with them, he's loving that. Also, like, you know what I mean?
Also, it happens to me that family is so nice, so funny, the kids, that if anybody were to like meet them, all of your phobias are going to go away.
Throw his hat away the day after?
What? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I stole it out of his room. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like if I told that guy to like F off or whatever, like he would have never had that experience. Like, and I was really like happy to see that. He might never say he might never say it out loud, right? Yeah. But I saw it. Like it's done. Like I've seen the needle move, and that's important.
Growth.
And we also like. People will say often like, oh, like if you voted for this person, like just delete me and all of that. Yeah. But that's for us, and particularly me, that's everybody that like I grew up around. A lot of our friends, it's not just him. Yeah. And he's a great guy and he has awesome interests and like does really cool things. It's a lot of people. And if I were to have gotten rid of all of them or said anything, it would actually screw me, because me maintaining those relationships is what either prevented them from going to like a really bad next step, or when it came time to stand up for somebody or something, they were like, you know what? There is this one guy or this one family. And so you can't, and you're that for a lot of people, because you have friends or, you've been to places that, have stuck with you. And so for that reason, somebody might be like, you know what, like Riley has said this or has.
Well, it's like, the thing that really gets me is like when people make comments about like the Arab world, for example, just being dangerous, like, oh, don't die or something like that. And it's like, how many consecutive months or years do I need to like live in a place for you to be like, oh, okay, it's safe? Or are you just going to keep going back to like what the news is telling you? Or are you going to you actually have a friend who's physically there, and I could like call you on FaceTime and I could show you around the neighborhood. Like, and you could tell me, like, you know what I mean? I mean,
you do keep your family and friends' heartbeats up because you love to choose Islamic countries and Muslim friends.
There you go.
Yo, but they give, I'm telling you, like, it's the best hospitality. It's like it works.
Yeah.
It's good.
Let's get into that because it was funny when the pandemic hit, everybody is locking down.
Yeah.
And even us, like we were, like, oh, this is serious and stuff. Riley Battaglia says, I'm out of here.
I'm out.
And I'm going to go travel to as many places as I can.
Wait,
During the whole pandemic?
Well, as soon as you heard the pandemic was happening, like, were you just like, I'm leaving?
No, it's not. I mean, yeah, it kind of sounds cool. And I don't know if it sounds cool. I think it sounds like, screw this guy.
Let me hype
like,
you up, dude.
Yeah. So the timing is weird. I'll try to be brief. Like, so before the pandemic, like I had this huge, like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And I started to I didn't know where I was going, but I was just kind of like thinking on it, praying, meditating, that kind of thing. And I was like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I know that I need to like get rid of stuff so I can like be more mobile, have the ability to get out of here.
You were trying to be minimalist.
Yeah, sell my stuff and just prepare to be able to hit the road. This is before like COVID was even a thing.
That's why the fanny pack you brought today makes sense.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Everything he has.
Yep. It's all in there. It's all in there. Like
All your
I got a
clothes for the
placement.
week is in there?
Water.
All your clothes are in the week?
Easily. I just wear the same thing every day. No,
Can I open it?
Yeah, we can get in
Okay,
there.
so you brought a fanny pack that
Yeah.
Trevor really
Red.
likes.
I've like been so interested and
Look, he's like,
intrigued.
It's a
You-
high
you go
quality-
ahead.
It looks high
Yeah.
quality
He's worried.
fanny pack. But
Okay.
He said that he was worried about what's in there, so
yeah, it's a Nike fanny pack.
I was
It looks
telling-
really well made, but
Okay, so this is currency from Tunisia. This is a dinar. Do you want a gift? I don't know. I have a
how
few
can you tell
more.
what's heads or tails?
It's actually illegal to export currency from Tunisia. So if you're watching this in Tunisia, it's probably a banned
Did you
video.
go to jail or
This is
executed?
half.
Would you go to jail or executed?
No, I think
Pretty faded.
I think,
that's what you. Okay, what else you got in there?
let's
Riley, you don't
see.
have one currency. The bag is heavy.
I've got my
That's-
dad's keys.
okay.
What is up with parents always having like a million keys on the thing, right? Like that's
And they're always
crazy.
shuffling
Yeah.
through it.
Crazy.
So you got rid of your car too.
I've
This
got
is a heavy coin.
This is my travel journal. I actually brought it because I take notes, and I was like, if there's
Take
something
notes
I
on
should
what?
talk about, just things that happen. But
Like
I'm gonna
life
keep
stories
that.
and stuff, or what?
Yep. I think when you write stuff down, like we were talking about writing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I write. We can look at my handwriting, by the way, too.
That's good.
Let's see
I
if
told
it's
you need to
disturbed.
document it somehow, so that's
Couple
good.
airline tickets. I think this is a COVID test.
Oh,
Okay, so sorry.
You weren't
This is from Dr. Rahal. He was my doctor.
that sounds
and,
brown.
Is my WhatsApp doctor. Literally a WhatsApp doctor. And
What's
he
a
got
WhatsApp doctor?
a doctor you know on WhatsApp.
wait. So he just how do you get tested over WhatsApp?
So you just get the guy's WhatsApp and you call him and you hope he speaks enough English or vice versa. And
And then they write you a like.
they send
Fake
someone.
note? Is that a fake?
No,
Riley went full immigrant. It's like, I know a guy.
they send
He'll write me a
someone-
pass.
they send a guy in like a beat up sedan to
Dude, it's
your
a bunch of
residence.
papers in
yeah,
here.
I mean it's documents, dude. I just got back.
For travel and
Look,
stuff?
they had my name
Okay.
as Rileri. I
Wait, so
think this is a
how do you
French.
know how to do all this stuff? Like,
Okay, honestly, just like in this case, friends. Like I had a friend, and the friend was like, "Yep, this is who you need to call." It goes back to just making friends. Like
so they're like, oh, you need to do this to get here. You need to take this
Yeah.
document, this test.
Do you sit down with like people and you're like, okay, so what's the lowdown? Or you're like step by step, like, I need a doctor, I need this, like, and then just try to go one day by day.
Yeah, I shamelessly just like hit people up once I make connections with people. I'm like, hey, who's your dentist? Like I went to see the dentist last week in Tunisia. She was great, better than my dentist.
Oh, I would
in here.
not do it. You trusted that?
She
You're
was
like, yeah, she took out 5 teeth. Like, it's
It's
fine.
probably
Yo,
cheaper too.
she
Do you have
was-
dental insurance over there?
I
much is the copay?
do. I still paid like 50 US. I don't know if that's a
Oh,
lot
dang. She's
50
skating.
US?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
50
yeah,
US
yeah.
for what?
for the whole thing, the whole point.
But you
of it.
got like teeth removed
She
and
got
stuff?
no. She did the cleaning and
I'm
she,
like, you need to let me know about that
Yeah,
doctor.
yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
paying too much money over here.
Amber flies to Tunisia. It's cheaper than going to the dentist.
Yeah, it's lovely. Honestly, I was freaking her out because I take aspirin because I had heart surgery, and every time I'm spitting up cups of blood from like when they're picking out my teeth because
Oh,
I have
blood
blood
thinner.
thinners. Yeah, and she's like, "Am I hurting you? And are you okay?" And I'm like, like look like a vampire, like I'm coughing up blood. And no, I was like, no,
I would be
it's great.
scared about the hygiene. That's the main thing about.
Oh no, man! Like they're great, state of the art.
Well, you have a lot of confidence.
I'm telling you, man.
That couldn't be me.
I went to
When we had the person who's been to every country, isn't Tunisia where he bought land? And like
Yo.
has like.
That's is it
Tanzania.
Tanzania.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
It might
bad.
have been Tanzania.
Irrelevant.
Tanzania.
Wait, so okay, on the pandemic thing, real quick, like when did you decide like I want to go travel, and where'd you go? What was the first place you went?
Turkey.
Turkey.
Yep. Sultan Erdogan.
So it didn't scare you at all that like you don't know what's about to happen, and you were just like,
Why Turkey?
Turkey at the time was the only like open country without like restrictions. It was still when you could like not you could not get.
So you were not scared of the pandemic
No.
at all?
He's like, let me just go head
And
first.
actually, my friend here, like who I mentioned before, like he lived there before he came to the U.S. So he had some family there. He knew some places to go, stay. He was like recommending it. And so I knew that I would have sort of that connection there and I could link up with them.
But like no
And-
fear of pandemic.
No.
Am I
Well,
allowed to
you-
ask if he caught COVID?
you only recently
No,
got
I never caught COVID.
Wait, really?
Dang.
Okay.
you only
wanna see
recently
this?
got
See this
So
mask?
worldwide.
vaccinated anyways, right? Like
Yeah, I
when
got
you
the
were
Johnson.
the whole time he was there, like
You got Johnson?
Yeah.
All right, I'm leaving.
Yo, I got a picture on my phone. You should have seen me after the Johnson. Like it was terrible.
I thought you were
Really?
anti-vaxxing for a while.
I wasn't anti-vaxxing. Like you can't get it if you're out of the US. You have to come back. I
Right.
thought about it.
Because I remember asking you, were like,
Yeah, I mean, like it. But then I'm like thinking
Well,
about.
he traveled the world and didn't get it. So at that point,
Yeah.
like I would be like, yeah, I'm superhuman.
Yeah, and it's like it's not only like some people are like, oh, I was asymptomatic. Like no, I didn't get it. I'm pretty. I get tested so often. Like I just like I'm like no way. Like I didn't get it.
Were you super cautious, like around like people? Were you like always wearing your mask? Like, are you like, oh, I'm traveling the world? Like, people are sometimes very touchy.
Well, to be honest, when you're gone, like there's not the temptation to do all these social engagements because I don't have all these friends that are like, oh, let's go do this, like or family events or things. So you do spend more time isolated, but at the same time, like I was cramming into subway cars in like Cairo, one of the most crowded cities in the world, and like old men are coughing on you and people aren't wearing masks and stuff like that. So it's hard to tell, but I would say overall, like I try to be cautious. Yeah.
when you were in Turkey,
Oh, this is my mask. Yeah, this mask is from Cairo, off of the street. This
oh, it's the same one?
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
how long's
so
been
maybe
in
I'm
there?
not cautious. Like, yeah, I get the black mask.
That probably has other diseases on
Yeah,
it.
I get the black one so you can't see the dirt. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
It's got COVID 20
That's
on it.
smart.
yeah, support
Right.
support your local mask dealer. Seriously.
Nice.
Honestly, yeah.
What was the thing that happened in Turkey where like you were supposed to?
He's like, this one's from like another country.
This is from my friend Rasim. Shout out Rasim. This is a great guy.
He used it on his
Shout out
pants.
Rasim.
Yeah, Rasim's got a lot of masks.
Yeah, you were stopped by like
These aren't cloth masks, by the way. They're
Yeah,
literally disposable,
disposable
masks.
ones.
Yeah, but look at that. That's icy. Okay. So, I'm showing it to the Zoom. I'm like, what?
No, I'm trying to ask you about that incident that happened at like one of the close to the border of Turkey,
Yeah, you mean the border of Syria?
or it was Syria? Okay.
Yeah.
What happened? You were just trying to see a spot that like
Yeah.
people you don't usually go to.
Like there are times I'm not one of those I don't know, what do you call them? Danger porn YouTubers, like people who go to like,
Oh, yeah.
yo, I'm in Kabul,
Most
like,
dangerous
most
place in
dangerous.
Pakistan.
I'm in Somalia. I didn't die today. What's up? Like, follow, subscribe. I'm not one of those people because I think that's annoying. But I was traveling with a colleague and friend, and he knows his stuff, and we're in Turkey, we're in like near Istanbul, but he's like, look, when we need to go for like a week or two to the southern like border region, there's these 3 towns. One's called Gaziantep, one's called Urfa, and one's called Mardin, and they're all along the border with Syria, and they're historically part of that Sham like Arab region, but they've just been absorbed into Turkey. He wanted to go because of the food, the people speak Arabic, this kind of stuff. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I was a bit concerned that the US customs would be mean to me when I came back about it, but I wasn't really, I trusted him. Like, he was like, it's fine.
Well, you don't like.
yeah.
Did you have to have anything like your passport or anything there?
Yeah.
So why would the U.S. customs?
Like, I mean, when you come back, they ask you like where you've
Where you
been,
went,
and
yeah.
I tell the truth, and then
Riley. Riley.
It's probably a lot easier for you though.
Like, what were you doing in Turkey? I was at a Taylor Swift concert. Like, you know what I mean? No, it's like they know what's up. But yeah, like white privilege was revoked for a minute there. I got a little scared, but anyway, I'll get back to that. So, we're going along the border, these different towns, and he's right. Like the food is better. Like it's just really incredible experience. The history, some of the oldest civilizations, like, you know, like Abraham, like the prophet. Yeah, I like went to like where he lived, like his village, like some of the oldest places, and people don't go there because they're afraid, you know, or whatever. And yeah, so just so happened that the day that we were like doing a tour of different areas that were pretty much along the Syrian border, was the same day that some, I guess, militant groups put out a threat on American citizens in Turkey. And then whenever that happens, like even if it's like some kid prank calling, they send out all the security forces. It's crazy. They had checkpoints when we were coming back in. Our driver was this Kurdish guy. And then you got two guys in the back. Like you got me, you know, this like white dude from the US who speaks a tiny bit of Arabic. And you got a Canadian guy who's like Palestinian. He's rocking the keffiyeh on his head. God bless him. You know, he's really passionate, but I'm like, dude, we might want to take that off. I don't know how the police go here, but he's loving it. And we get pulled over and our driver's like really sweating it. He's like, look, I really need this job. You know, what's up? He was asking us if we were like CIA or Mossad because it's like a pandemic. Damn. It's like, what are you doing on the border of Syria during a pandemic? Like, oh, you're coming for the food? Like they're like,
I'm a minimalist American. I'm just trying to explore.
It's a stupid story. Like
I hate Bel Air.
Yeah. So like we get out of the car and there's like three young women in like plain clothes and they don't even look Turkish. Like they look like from all over the place and they're wearing like sunglasses. So I don't know. I thought they were just also pulled over because there's some uniformed police officers. And then one of them turns to me and just starts like firing off questions like, where are you from? What are you doing here? What's your job? I realized they're like some kind of secret police or whatever.
In English?
Yeah, in English, perfect English. Okay. Like they were like, you know, just questioning us and asking for our papers and this and that. And they held us for like a few minutes, but we ended up going back and then we saw turn on the news and we saw the
yourself.
Yeah, no, we saw the threat. The threat was like
claims he was there for food.
Yeah. But like it's crazy. Like people, yeah, it was just like weird timing. Of course, my family's calling me like. Literally, my dad was like, yo, I saw this thing about Turkey. Like, where are you? And I'm like, oh, don't worry. I'm on like the Syrian border, I think. And he's like, oh, great. Like, that makes me feel better. I don't know.
Wait, so like, do you try to like hold those types of stories back or like sugarcoat them a little bit? I mean, that's a pretty big scare.
Usually I don't say until after the fact. Okay. Like, yeah, I usually just wait and say after we get back, you know?
Yeah.
Craziest, I'll tell one more story about this. So the driver we had was this Kurdish guy named Ekram, and he was really, really smart. He was an educator, just another person that's been suffering from the pandemic, a guy that would probably be taking busloads of people on tours. But, you know, he stuck with me and my friend. And we kind of just had a coffee with him. We got connected with him through the tourism ministry, and we were just negotiating like a cash price basically for him to drive us to see what we wanted to see and be our guide for the day. And this is along those border regions. He seemed fine to me. He seemed really nervous to talk to us because it seemed like he really wanted the job. And my friend did not trust him. He's like, I don't trust this guy. He's being weird. He's trying to show us like his papers. Like, I think there's something up. So he texts his brother in the morning and he's like, look, this is the guy we're going with. This is the information if something happens to us. So he was a little bit freaked out, I guess. So we're driving, after seeing a couple things, we're driving on a road that is literally like on the border. And this is on the border with towns where they've, you know, people pass over to go when there was fighting and stuff like that. And he like creepily says, as we're driving on this road, looking at the border fence, he's like, all right, guys. He's like, I've got a surprise for both of you. And he like says it like in a really weird way. And me and my friend look at each other and we had that look like, all right, this is it, man. Like, and he hits something on his radio and he turns it up and he's playing Hotel California by the Eagles. He goes, oh, I love this song. And he's like, isn't it so great? And so now every time we thought we were going to be sold into like slavery or something, but
you just think of Hotel California.
Yep. Every time I hear that song, I'm like, think of this.
Maybe he wanted to show you because you're the only ones that would know it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was going to be like a rendezvous. Like he was like, all right, you're going to go in this van now and people aren't going to hear you. That was the only time he freaked me out because the way he said it.
Because sometimes like I'll have cousins or friends like anytime we go to Pakistan, it'll be like, like one of my cousins, he'll get really excited to be like, so like, what do you think about like Megan Fox or something? And just like
6 years later,
like he's been like almost as if he's been waiting for somebody who he can talk to about something that's like over
or like
there.
they'll bring up Justin Bieber
Yeah,
as like the biggest star.
The thing with men that I've noticed is they always want to tell me about, especially drivers, they always have some like fling they thought they had with a foreign girl, maybe not always American, maybe British or something, and they want to tell me all about her and ask me for advice, and I'm like, you're asking the wrong guy.
Wait, real quick, who was the people that like they would put on some videos on the TV of girls, and you were like, oh, this is what they do for fun?
What do you mean?
It was, you were telling me about like you'd be there, and then they would say like, hey Riley, check this out, what do you think? And it was something about like American girls that were doing something.
Oh, Jessica, I think was her name.
Yeah,
You're talking about when I was hanging out with Syrian people.
I guess
so I was hanging out with my friends, like brothers, and they're like, do you know this girl? Her name, do you know Jessica? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, Jessica Simpson, or like, I don't know who they're talking about. But Jessica is just like Jessica, this random white girl on YouTube who like talks about like eating lunch and doing makeup. She's like,
she's just a YouTuber.
Vlogger, yeah. And they're like, this is Jessica, isn't she so beautiful? And I guess she is. I don't know.
That's funny.
But they're like, yo, Jessica.
they're obsessed with her.
Like, do you know Jessica? I was like, no, I don't.
Well,
know.
Speaking of Jessica, you've traveled all these countries and stuff like that. And
That's cute.
you write like, your travels and stuff. Why don't you vlog all this?
Yeah, this is a good question, and it's something that I struggle with because I love the vlog game. Vlogs inspire me to do some of these things. I've talked about that. I just have to get over, and you probably understand this more than anybody, get over that fear of like having the like acting natural in front of the camera. Like, I don't know. I feel like some of the situations I'm going into, if I come in with a camera. You don't want to do stuff for the
camera. You just want to be like, film your experience.
Is it weird you're saying for the people around you when you have the camera, or like you think you're not being authentic to the camera?
More for like the people around me. I'm thinking about in some of the countries, like you can get, like in Egypt, for example, if you take a picture of like Tahrir Square, the police will come out of nowhere and like, make you delete it off your phone or
Why?
There are a lot of laws. That's a good question. I don't know. Might want to ask, okay, I don't want to get down that road, but anyway, that's a thing. Like I have to recognize that I'm somewhat ignorant in that regard, and I would want to do more research. Whereas like, if I'd been living somewhere for like 2 months, got to know the people, been able to communicate on a level where like I'm able to basically ask for consent and stuff, I think I would start vlogging more.
We've had a lot of these conversations, by the way. Like, I think since you started going places, I've been asking you like, bro, how are you documenting this? How are you documenting this? And I remember one of the things that, made sense that you said was like, sometimes you see those travel vloggers and it just seems so like fake and for their audience where they don't even know. Like I've seen a few of them where they're in a place where I can recognize either like Arab kids or like Desi kids, and they're like clowning the person. And he's like, oh, like look at the kids. Oh, they love the camera, and they're like literally like, who is this guy? Like
it'll be like slow-mo shots. They probably like force the kids to like run this way and direct it.
It's different too when you're white at the end of the day. Like it is. It's just like, I mean, I had kids like swarming me at the pyramids because I thought they just thought I was cool or had a cool haircut.
You had a soccer jersey.
It was a soccer jersey. So
they probably thought that you were like a famous football player.
I was bragging to my coworkers. I was like, "Yo, the kids love me. Like I run Cairo. Like
I run Cairo.
And I'm Masri. Like I'm like starting to speak like Egyptian and stuff. I'm like getting excited, and then I realized it's just the jersey. They were just hyped to see a white guy repping Al Ahly. They were like, "Oh, that's great."
It's weird. I don't know if it's just like just you knowing more, like saying more cultural things and speaking certain things, but like you don't even seem white to me anymore in the way that like
I don't seem white to the U.S. government anymore
in the way the rest of my white friends are, because also like your hair texture has changed, which is really weird. I'm not even kidding.
Wild.
I'm not even kidding.
Your hair used to be straight,
when you get
scrubbed,
when you get scrubbed by another man, things change. Like things change.
Like it's all
scrubbed.
What do you mean?
Like the skin is coming off of your body.
Did you get the like Korean bat scrub?
I definitely was not Korean, but it was something. Yeah. I don't know.
It's like those they have
the thing. It's called like a kissel or something. It's one of those really like rough scrubby things, and it's designed to literally rip your skin off. Like it is.
That sounds so fun.
And they always make fun of me for how dirty I am. It's fantastic. I had this guy.
Really good. I'm sure.
I had this guy like they sit behind you and straddle you, and they like spread you out, and they literally just like scrape it all off you. And because I don't do that normally, as you can imagine, there's a lot, and they always make sure to tell you that there's a lot. Except this last time, the guy didn't tell me, but he told my friend behind my back, which hurt even more. He was like, "Hey man, like you're good. I can do an extra shampoo for you because it wasn't that much work. But your friend, he was like crazy. Like they were speaking in French, so I didn't know what they were talking about. But that my friend told me afterwards that he was like, dude, you're pretty grimy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, sorry.
How do you get to like trust people? That's my like one of my main things is like you get, especially when people can see you're foreign, you get scammed and all of that. Like, how are you navigating that?
I do get scammed sometimes. Yeah.
Do you know when you're getting scammed?
Yeah, sometimes you know it and you're stuck in it and you just you're thinking of your exit strategy. Like the first day I got to Tunis, this guy like did the fake like bump into me. Oh, let me show you around my city. And I just like was like kind of like flustered and I just couldn't think about how to get out of it.
Sounds like Taken.
Yeah.
Riley's like,
he wasn't as
call
cute.
from Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
And yeah, when that happens, so like when that's happening, I'm just being more aware. I'm like kind of like watching around. Okay, is this like part of a thing? You know, I know it's happening, but
you're also very nice.
Yeah, that's the problem is I smile a lot and make a lot of eye contact, and that's bad. You don't do that in other places, like especially when you're like a target for scams, like you got to be kind of rude, to be honest. Like that's what my local friends tell me. They're like, you have to be like, you know,
straight face.
You have to like do things that you're like uncomfortable with. Like even in like Paris, they were like, wear your backpack backwards.
Oh yeah.
Like wear it to the front. And I was like, what?
I always do that when I'm traveling. Like I heard that was a thing afterwards, but I was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna put my backpack in the front.
The worst is the kids. The kids are really and like the old ladies and the old men. Like it's always the elderly and the kids but the kids, you know, because I teach kids, because I work with kids and I know they're like BS, like I don't really fall for it as much as like, but the old people is like kind of a weak spot for me. But the kids, you know, they come up, they get right on your hip and they're like hitting your leg, you know, amo. Like they're like calling you uncle and asking for money and they'll follow you, man. They will follow you, you know, for a while. And that's sometimes tough, but you have to understand, like a lot of the time they're just going to take that and go deliver it to their boss around the corner or something like that. But it's totally up to you. Like you shouldn't feel bad. I think some people, they feel bad. Oh, I got scammed or I got this. You have to understand if someone's willing to do that in the first place, like they probably need the money. Like it's not the end of the world if you lose a couple bucks here and there.
I always say like poverty in other countries is very different than poverty in America, where it's just like, there's no systems set up.
There's a whole underground scheme and like
in America, you're not really poor for what poor is.
You can get government assistance.
Yeah, always.
There's a lot of ways around it. In certain countries, if you're poor, it means you literally live on the street.
Yeah.
It means you literally have to try to find food.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
I wanted to ask, like, so people want to like scam you when they see you, you know, people
sometimes
are excited that maybe you're from America. Like, do you ever get like hate stares? Like, oh, why is he here? Like, as a white person or American?
Not that I noticed. See, this is a thing, right? Like my uncle the other day, I was telling you, he's like, oh, you got to be careful over there. They hate us. I was like, no, they really like me. I don't know. No, they're like super hype. And even like as a good example, right? I was in Tunisia during, you know, the stuff that broke out between, you know, with Israel and Palestine, and there's people out on the streets. They're angry. You know, you would think, well, if you tell them you're from America and we're funding all this stuff that's happening, they're going to be, but they're like, no, they people are smarter than that. They separate. I mean, not always, you can't generalize, but usually they separate the person from the government or from the issue. And I'm really grateful for that. It's just been my experience so far. Yeah. I do recognize that somebody somewhere might not be as forgiving or as patient, but I honestly get treated really well. And case in point, I would like to share another story if I may. And I'll be, and this one really bothered me, and it really, it just highlights where we're at once again in the world. Is like when I went to Tunisia, most of this year I've been traveling with a coworker of mine. Great guy. We basically linked up in Turkey. We just have similar interest. And he's been like a lifeline, like showing me a lot of these things. I wouldn't have gone to southern Turkey. I wouldn't have gone to these places in Egypt had I not connected with this guy. And so we both worked for the same organization. He's got a Canadian citizenship for 20 years, but he has Palestinian heritage. Never been to Palestine, by the way. Born in Kuwait, but never been to Palestine. When we were traveling in Egypt, like he was constantly being like harassed by like police. Not constantly, but like when we came into the airport, they see me, white American, boom, stamp the passport, welcome to Egypt. They see him. It's like, where are you from? Where is your father from? Where is your father's
Egyptian
father
people.
from? Yes, this is Arabs doing this to other Arabs. And then when we went to Tunisia, I go through the line, we get off the plane, we have all our COVID stuff. I'm waiting at the luggage thing. The guy is not coming through. And I already knew, like I knew that this wasn't good. It was 25 minutes. I got on like some airport Wi-Fi. He's like, dude, just go. Like, they're not going to let me through. And he can't really explain. He's being detained. It's crazy. Like, I'm like, all right, fine. I'll just go. Like, I'll ask later. By the time we were able to catch up, he was back in Cairo. They put him back on the plane. They deported him. They told him that, oh, it was because of COVID. We can't let you in, but they let me walk in like 3 people in front of him. And it came down to, he spoke in Arabic with them. They realized he was Palestinian. It was like the beginning of Ramadan. And they were like, there's no reason for you to be here. It's Ramadan. It's COVID. You don't need to be here. Why are you here? Meanwhile, they're flying Palestinian flags and they're saying we stand with Palestine. They literally just booted a guy from the country because he's Palestinian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's no other excuse. They can say what they want, but like that's it. Unless he's got a double life, that I don't know about. Like maybe he is in the Mossad. I don't know. Like,
Right.
but yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. And people bring that hypocrisy up a lot. And for you to see that, that's really insane. That like somebody that you literally work with that is Canadian
citizen. Let's be very clear. Like usually there is harassment, but it stops when you show them the passport. Like
Right.
that passport has a lot of privilege, and even on that day, it did not work. And that's the thing. Like this stuff runs deep. When I see this stuff on social media and everything, and people are like, it's so complex and this and that. It is, but sometimes it really isn't. Sometimes it is that black and white. Like I walked in, 3 people in front of him. Like the customs officer didn't say a word. It was a stamp. Welcome to Tunisia. Not even anything about a quarantine, nothing. They were trying to get thousands out of him on a hotel quarantine. He said he would do it. He called the bluff. He was like, I'll do it. And they were like, no, actually, we don't want you to come at all. Like they thought that would be enough to get him to just go on his own. But, he's stubborn, that's how that, and it's crazy. So when people make that comment like, oh, are you welcome in that country? I'm like, yeah, like, and that privilege goes a long way. And it's even like, it's that kind of internalized racism or whatever you want to call it. It's really sad. But it's a hell of a story. I don't know.
with the work, right? I think it's really cool that you live a lot of people's dream as far as like totally remote, and you can travel the world while getting paid.
Yeah.
Because of your work.
Sure.
What is it exactly that the school that like it's like a traveling school, right?
Yeah, so
It's supposed to be.
Yeah. So normally it's like it's kids from all over the world that can apply, high school age. You go to the school. It's called Think Global School. You can look it up. I'll do a plug there. But you can apply to go there, and the idea is like hands-on, project-based learning that has to do with these different locations around the world. So you're not
They
only
all fly together or something?
well, they're all coming from different locations, but they eventually will meet in this one location, and we'll have like a term that lasts about 2 months, and there's like 4 terms throughout the year, and so they get breaks. It's like a year-round school. They get breaks in between, and it's it's pretty intense when we're there, but they get the breaks in between. It's like they're getting that exposure of like going to a school with people from all over the world, so they're getting that cultural experience, and then they're getting the experience of like being in a country that they're not from. It's like
they still get like the high school credits and stuff like it's basically high school, just traveling while doing it.
Yeah, and it's founded by a woman a number of years back who did it for her son. She wanted her son to experience the world and get this hands-on education, and then she just decided to continue it. And so they give scholarships and this and that. And
It's such a fire idea.
Yeah.
Because
it's a crazy thing, and it doesn't sound real. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
it really doesn't.
When people are like, "What do you do for work?" and they're like, "Oh, that sounds like a cover
Scam.
for." I mean, maybe it is. I don't know.
Pyramid scheme?
Yeah. We actually had one of my coworkers. She tells that story. Like her first day, like they basically were like, meet us here in this city in England, and we'll pay you back when you get there. And she thought it was a scam. Like, but it's not. It's real. I mean, I haven't gone anywhere in person with them yet, but
you had.
So you work with them online right now, like on Zoom?
because COVID.
COVID
Right.
happened. Yeah.
So you were traveling, but the school was not.
Yeah, it was like a great story for U.S. Customs when I got back. They're like, so you work for a traveling school that's not traveling, but you're traveling. And of all the places you decided to travel, it was the border with Syria, and you went for an undefined amount of time. They're like, that's not a good enough story. And I was like, oh no, here's my card.
How long did it take to get through U.S. Customs?
They don't honestly, like, I'm so dramatic. It took still 20, 30 minutes. I told some of my other friends that have actually been detained. I was like, yeah, I was detained. And they're like, bro, how long was it? Like 2 hours, 4 hours? Like, 20 minutes. They're like,
Wow. My cousin held up for 9 hours one time.
yeah, exactly. I couldn't handle it. It shook me, I was like, oh man, I had to deal with this, I was like,
Well, when you're used to
I
just
have
going
white
through.
privilege.
Even for us, if I've never been stopped,
Really?
I'm blessed.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Because
rare.
even
you're
other
pretty.
countries, it's because my American passport.
I was gonna say,
But
because
also,
you're pretty.
my name is not someone that
Yeah, he
stands
doesn't
out.
have Shah. He doesn't have.
Khan,
No
Muhammad.
Muhammad.
None of that.
Abdul.
All
Abdul
all
something.
three of
Ahmad.
my brothers, my dad and both my brothers' names are Muhammad Khan.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
they
all
get
of
double
them.
stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you're done.
Yeah, but I'm used to just even seeing huge lines, and then seeing a side that says U.S. and then the other one, everything else
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. The only place I think we'd face trouble is India, which
Oh.
it
did
doesn't
you go to
matter.
India?
No.
Oh.
If we ever wanted to,
Mhm.
I have a lot of friends and family that either want to go to Pakistan or India that are from the opposite place.
Which would be so fire to be able to go to each
I would
other's country
love to-
easily.
I would love to, but the thing is, the U.S. passport doesn't matter in that instance because they want to know
where your grandparents are from.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah,
same thing as
I mean, I was even born there, so
That's
it's
true.
It's probably not even possible for me. But even for people who are born in America, whose parents might be even born in America, yeah, you're right. They want to know where was your grandfather born?
Yeah. They say that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's what sucks. On the school thing, it was really cool because you actually had me do a guest presentation,
They love you.
which was awesome. But when I was in there, we did it over Zoom, and my thing was about media, and how to have purpose in.
Dude, you didn't get Jessica on?
Yeah,
Yo,
dude, what
yo.
the heck?
Jessica, if you're out there, Jessica, I don't know.
Come
I don't
through
even
on
know what
the
Jessica's
Zoom.
last name is.
I know, it's just Jessica from.
But if Jessica is as famous as they say she is, there should only be one Jessica. So Jessica on YouTube.
It's
You
like
have
the
a lot of
Borat
fans.
thing where he's just I have to find Pamela, and it's Pamela
Yeah.
Anderson and all that.
Creepy the way they watch her just talk. She's just talking about nothing, and I'm like, guys, take a break, get a drink of water or something, stretch or something.
Dead.
They are thirsty.
Yeah, I mean, we're so used to seeing diversity.
Yeah.
And in a place where you're not, I'm telling you,
No, I
all
know.
my families, even when we go over there, we stand out.
Yeah.
And so it's weird. But I was gonna say it was awesome to see that all of the kids were from different countries and all of that. And I feel like that's so healthy and good for them to learn and as you've said, just absorb each other.
Yeah.
Because I think about something like an accent, right? Where if you grow up in America, if anybody has slightly a funny accent, it's over.
Yeah.
People are not able to get over that. I remember as a kid just being insecure and all of that. In elementary school, I had a little bit of an accent, but then my parents bringing friends home, I was just scared that they were going to comment about that. And sometimes they did.
Yeah.
And I was just it would literally just make me so nervous that I'm going to get made fun of and all of that. But for these kids, just being open to each other, that's never going to be an issue for them growing up
Yeah.
because they're just used to it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, well, we still have the accent thing. There's actually one of our Indian students actually very self-conscious about it, but the other two are like, yeah, it's like whatever.
Tell him to do a British accent. It completely masks it.
It really,
it completely masks it.
He mastered by the time I got there, he already mastered like the American accent. Like he sounds, you can't tell, but he told me that in the past, like he really struggled with it and it really bothered him. And it's like, once again, like internalizing those stereotypes about Indian people or whatever, you know.
Well, I think also it's one of those things where like certain accents, it doesn't matter what happens. Certain accents
nobody
seem
thinks
cooler.
that a Desi accent is sexy. Like nobody's ever going to say that.
It depends. It depends on your voice too.
Riley, you trying to say something?
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Have you heard a brown accent sound?
All I'm saying is I don't know.
I feel like if you saw, because we're used to seeing like in movies and stuff, a really hot character or actor and actress with a certain accent. But whenever it's an Indian or a Mexican or something, it's always like some short, fat dude, or it's like some, you know.
I don't know. Because even the hot guys in Bollywood movies, they be saying some things and then you're like, that's so cringy. Like coming out your mouth.
Cringy is different.
Is it only cringy to you, or is it cringy across the board?
If you're gonna be like, you are so hard, like it's not gonna come up cute.
Yeah, I get it.
Amber gets about to get some hate.
Hate on me.
I mean,
well, are you gonna go to Pakistan?
Yeah. Like honestly, we talked about this. It's just like a matter of how I want to arrange that with my stomach and just making sure I have enough time to just be on the toilet. I think
if the next time we go, like I've told Riley, like he has to. And I think,
but I mean, if you've been to all these other places too, like you'll be fine.
Amber,
what I hear from this guy, what I'm hearing from him.
Did you have a messed up stomach anywhere else that you went?
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be any different. Like Faraz has like butthole issues, but
Amber, but everybody in my family.
But what I'm saying is that like you will have messed up stomach, but you're not gonna have to be like 5 feet away from a toilet. Like you'll go somewhere, like you'll have to go. Like you'll have rest stops. You'll have whatever. Like you be alright.
You won't.
But if it's bad, let us know. Because
we're
like, dang,
are you guys never had?
No, we did, but he travels and he's had stomach problems
like
before,
it's not like Pakistan's the only place in the world. If he's been traveling and he's been,
of course not. But like certain things. Wait, what do you guys eat when you go there though?
Like gar ka khana.
I'll eat home food, the street food sometimes. Like
street food is what like
street food messes you up.
The other thing, I mean, like.
But you can't not eat
You can't drink. I mean, why not?
Because you should eat the street food.
Yeah, but you can just have them make the street food at home.
No.
Yeah.
And also, you know what? If you do want to eat the street food, you just have them make it fresh for you in front of you. If it's right off the fire, like in front of you and not like an old batch, and they hand it right to you, like you'd be all right.
No, I'm not just talking about things that are like fresh off a fire or something, but like
the milk they use sometimes, like the water.
I'm talking about lassi in the steel cups that are shared by everybody.
You be drinking lassi in the bazaar?
Yes, you have to.
And then you're wondering why you have butthole issues.
I'm not wondering why. I'm not wondering why.
What is the syrup thing you guys are always pulling up with in the videos? Like, what's that called?
The Ruru.
Yeah, I need to get some of that.
Oh, we'll get you on that Ruru.
Can we get some bottles?
We got some downstairs.
I'm trying to pull up.
Where else did you go?
This year? Just in general?
Yeah.
I went to Turkey. I went to Bosnia and Bosna, and I went to Mexico for a little bit, and then Egypt and Tunisia.
What continent have you not gone to this year?
Asia, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I basically
have you been to Asian countries.
No, unless you count like Turkey. You know, they say Europe and Asia, but I don't really count it.
But like East Asia,
no. To be honest, like most of the traveling I've done, it's concentrated either around the Mediterranean, whether it be on like.
So you're definitely trying to scare your parents.
No, I mean like.
I feel like that's a good technique so that you absorb all the surrounding cultures around one area, so that it's not just like
random, scattering.
Go there just to go there, but actually try to absorb. Like, oh, I have a friend from Syria. I could ask him about.
Yeah, it's that. It's like the language thing. I don't speak like any kind of like fluent Arabic or even decent Arabic, but I understand enough words to where it be comfortable to be like ask for directions or know certain vocab. So that's one thing. Like And then like having those friends, like having Moroccan friends, having Syrian friends, or Syrian friends that have family in Turkey. It's like knowing people, or just knowing people that know about a place. I know that the experience there will be better. Tunisia was more of an unplanned thing. I was trying to get to Morocco, but with all the flight closures, I ended up in Tunisia. And then by chance, I got connected with a group of friends because of some stuff that happened. And I realized that a friend of mine was actually there, and then it worked out. But most of the places I go...
How do you just have friends scattered around?
I was in the Peace Corps a while ago, and this friend of mine, she went on to... It wasn't even like a close friend. It was someone I knew. She went on to work for the U.S. Embassy, and she was stationed in Tunisia. And I went there to renew my passport.
You just got to know somebody.
They messed up my passport. They put me as a woman instead of a man. And then when I went back, this girl that I knew like 5 years ago was like, "Hey, you'll never believe this. I work here." And I was like, "Yo, so did you mess up my passport or what?" Like, but then you get invited to like hang out with a group of friends and make friends. It's luck. It's really just luck. I don't know.
So you don't go to those hostels, and like that's how a lot of people meet.
No, yeah, I mean, and right now, no. I guess with COVID, I haven't gone.
Don't act like you care.
No, I don't care. Just bougie. No, it's more, honestly, it's more because I am spending a lot of time working online. Like, so I get a place where I know it's quiet. I know the internet works. Yeah, like I have to work. So, yeah.
It's still so cool that you get to, be in a different place while you're working and all that.
Yeah.
You had some trouble when you were on your way back, I heard.
Way back from where?
What was the last place you were at? You said just recently you barely made it.
Oh, no. Well, no. I mean, I was wondering about, okay, I was going to have to take this guy. This is really messed up. Like, this is not cool.
On your part?
I don't know, man. I don't know how many extra years and like...
We'll judge you.
Yeah, I don't know how many... I don't know what this is going to do to my afterlife situation. But my friend, the one that I got connected to at the embassy, she was like, hey, listen, like you're going back to the US on this day. Would you be interested in taking like someone with you, like escorting them? And I was like, what's that? And basically it's like someone who's sick and needs to get back to the US. They need someone to fly with them, like check them in, help them with certain things. And
they pay you?
They pay you, yeah. They give you like business.
That laugh sounded like it was a large sum of money.
Business class and like the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I
And
can.
you basically have to babysit them throughout the whole thing?
Yeah, essentially. So long story short, like she's like, hey, can you take this guy? But then as it's getting closer to the flight, things are like not working out. The airline heard about him. They're like, they don't want to board him because he's too difficult, and they're fighting with the Ministry of Health. And I'm like, look, I'm still going, They already.
What did he have? Did he have COVID or like what happened?
All right, like he had cancer, I think, like a history of numerous health problems, cancer. He something like he went to Tunisia for like a girl or something online, like old guy, sounds like a catfish situation.
Sounds like relatable to you.
I don't know how many details about this I'm even allowed to give. I think I have a waiver in here actually. No, it's in my other folder. It should be in my purse.
NDA or something?
Yeah, something about no, not an NDA, obviously, but he was in a catfish situation. He went to Tunisia, and while he was in Tunisia, got hospitalized. Something happened, like a stroke or something. And so now they're like trying to get him back to the States. And it's a crazy thing. Like, I'm like, of course this is happening. And of course I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Why not? This will probably be a good story one way or the other. And last minute, they called it off. They're like going to keep him there. The airline's not there. So I didn't end up taking him, but I kept the business class seats. I'm like, they're giving me bubbly water, and that's why I got expensive taste now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had one sip of that, and I was like, I'll never drink regular water again.
Wait, that's fine.
Yeah, that's not fine.
Like,
I thought you left him. Like, it sounded like you left him on purpose.
I feel like I left him, but like,
no, that wasn't up to you.
You don't even know him, right?
No, I don't know him.
And it's the airline's fault.
You
It's
feel
not your fault.
personally responsible? Come on now.
No, I just feel like, when you're like, eating like a nice fancy meal, and I'm thinking about like, why am I here right now? And it's
the
because
person
of
who
that
made
guy.
it like died.
It's because of that guy. I don't know if he's dead. Like, honestly, like shout out if you're
God.
shout out. Like, I don't know what I don't know what the situation is. It's just like, I feel like, dang, like,
You just
Well,
feel like
nothing that you have done. There's nothing you could have done.
I mean, I could have fought harder. I could have gone to the counter.
Oh.
I could have gone to the
You're just like,
counter.
okay.
And been like, take my classes.
this guy.
No, like, you can't deal with that,
No,
right? So
no.
all you would do is be like, take away my business class.
Yeah.
Like,
were
relax.
you responsible for him at that point? Or like,
no. I mean, like they just called it off and they just couldn't downgrade the tickets at that point.
were you with him?
What?
Were you with him at this time?
No, I never saw him. Never met him.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Because if
yeah.
you were next to him and you're
I
like,
had to like wave goodbye.
Yeah, all right, peace
All
out,
right,
dude.
yeah, I'm gonna go
I'm like,
take
oh,
this.
priority boarding. I'm out. Like, have fun.
dude, so the
And-
flight's taking off.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Did you
Yeah.
feel like a boss up there? Just like look like a young dude up in business class?
Yeah, especially because I like hadn't showered at all. I looked terrible, and like everyone else, you know, they look like they kind of belong
Suited up.
there. And like they're like, God, I gotta serve this guy. Like they're putting setting my table and everything. Like I just,
Dude, you're such a minimalist.
yeah. I mean, dude,
Wow.
that's what I'm saying. I
A
sound like
minimalist taking business class
sound like a-
doesn't add up.
Dude.
I sound
No,
like
you sound like a very nice, apologetic person.
Yeah.
Like, anybody would have taken that situation. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not giving. It's not like you took someone's business class either.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just in there. But I'm wondering about this guy who got catfished got hospitalized from a catfish situation.
I don't know.
Wait,
dude.
what do you mean got
I
hospitalized?
don't know, man.
What does that mean? Hospitalized?
I think he was just there and like I don't know if it's like a coincidence, like he was in bad shape and then he came over and then just had an accident. But when you talk about catfishing and you talk about like, you know, when you think those things that come to my mind, you know, anything sexual, you're like, oh, I mean, at a certain age that can set, you know, I mean, I don't know, a lot of
What related
possibilities.
to that sexual? I'm so confused.
No, like he could have caught something.
No, not like caught something. I think he might have just exerted himself too much.
Wait, what are you saying right now?
You got a stroke after masturbating? Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, I don't want to. I don't.
No,
I knew at
catfishing.
some point this would turn into a conversation about masturbating, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
What are you
Yeah,
saying?
that's actually what I was
Catfish? So he
thinking.
catfished
That's what he's
himself?
No, I mean,
No.
like there was a girl or something that was involved. She,
Girl or something.
like, you know, like honestly, like this is a whole world with like, you know, old men, man. Like they talk to these girls or maybe guys online. They don't know, but they
Oh, and
go.
they went over there.
Yeah, and it's like a money thing.
And
like
he couldn't handle himself.
maybe they never met. Like this, I feel bad speculating because see, then now I feel bad. Like at first I was
yeah.
innocent. Now I feel bad. I'm
He
speculating.
just put his whole thing on blast.
I'm speculating. The guy could have very genuinely just like been walking with an ice cream cone and had a stroke. But now I'm saying,
Wait,
he
so
was
you're just making this up or somebody gave you context?
No, all I know is that he was hospitalized with some kind of like stroke. I think.
Wait, so the girl thing you just didn't
You're
know
just
about.
The
making
girl
a-
thing is true.
Oh.
There was the reason because why else would a dude from the U.S. just randomly like go to Tunisia? Oh, I guess that's kind of what I did. But anyway,
yeah.
it's like,
What if
it's
he's
like,
you in the
yeah,
future, dude?
That's why I wanted
What
to
if
help
he's you in
him.
the future?
That's why,
There's a-
okay,
bro.
so that's why I wanted to help.
There's a whole show.
Yeah. It was just looking, it's okay.
It
It's
looks
fine.
good.
No, it's not. Just pull this part down.
Yeah.
You
This
guys
part?
can keep talking.
What's it called? Oh, there's a whole show about this. What's it called?
Oh, is it 90 Day Fiance?
90 Day Fiance. Yeah.
They shoot that in Tunisia. Like my friend told me all about this. Yes,
And
like,
the old guy was the main
the
character. no?
the people on 90 Day Fiance come in to get marriage visas. Like from my friend, I swear to God, she told me all about it.
Wow.
It's crazy. Because
Huh.
Tunisia, like honestly, like shout out Tunisia, like
The baddies are there.
everybody, you know, like men, women, they're all looking great. Like
I
the
need to go to
Mediterranean,
Tunisia.
the beaches, like it's great looking people out there.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, I mean, you're a young single guy.
Oh
Hot.
my God.
You was
Sexy.
messing
You're
with
go-
girls around the world?
No,
You got the nice Muslim beard.
He
for
said
these
no,
countries.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's starting to take on the look of the Arab world. Like he's
Yeah.
got his
That's
hair is growing in
true.
curly.
Yeah.
His beard is growing in very differently. He
If
used to
you
have no
wore a
facial hair.
foreign outfit, it's over.
Yeah, I thought that like the demand would be really high post Ramadan, like in the Tinder game in Tunis, but like,
Are you on Tinder over there?
well, I mean, like not intentionally.
Wait, what?
Not intentionally. What?
So
You
yes.
gotta get on salams.
I know
Salams, yeah.
salams, but like I feel like you know.
Wait, but what he's gonna put for the Muslim?
Exactly.
Yeah, he-
exactly.
It's
You
all
gotta
the
put
way low.
salams,
Well,
yeah.
you're a pretty devout Christian.
Yeah, I mean, I'm devout. Yeah.
Like that's
No, you're not on salams if you're a devout Christian.
I'm just you know.
yeah.
You could write it as your bio, like, hey, I'm not actually Muslim.
because everybody who writes as a bio is a piss off. So don't be a piss
No,
off.
no. Like, listen. Let's get back to the Tinder situation. So, like, I had a burner Tinder.
a burner Tinder.
Wait,
Yeah, like-
you're a catfish.
Wait, what if you're
No.
catfishing the old dude?
But it's
Wow.
no, like my Tinder.
Wait, so then are you the reason he had a
I
stroke?
had two Tinders account. I had two Tinders. 2 Tinders. One was Remy, because the people, they're speaking a lot of French over there. Like, it's an Arab country, but they speak tons of French. I don't speak any French. So I was like, okay, I'll make my name Remy instead of Riley. Or if I wanted to go for the more
You're a whole
Arab,
catfish.
the more Arab thing, I could do Rami. But I was like, Remy, that'll be cool. Remy's more believable.
How is this okay?
Because it's a picture of me. Like, I mean, if I actually were having a conversation, I would be like, okay, my name's Riley. But I was
you with my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
It was a name Catfish. The pictures are real. And then I had another one that was called Trust Me Daddy. Like, the Drake.
What? That's your name?
It was like, the Drake meme, Trust Me Daddy,
But that was your name.
No.
Yeah, that was my name.
No, yeah, I don't know that meme.
I don't like it's honestly like back to like 7th grade YouTube days. Like, I don't like giving out my real name on those platforms, especially when I have actual friends that are in the same city. Like that freaks me
Okay,
out.
I thought you were trying to like.
No, I'm not trying to-
like gain swipes
What
by
do you-
by like adjusting to the culture.
Do you think a girl's gonna be like, oh, his name's Remy, not Riley? So in that
100%,
case,
yes.
Okay,
Well, I thought
I
that's
think
what you're
I think it
thinking.
makes a
'Cause
difference.
Then why wouldn't
good.
you just
Then
do
you are
Riley?
validating my method. You are.
I am.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
Because if you're an Arab girl and you're like, oh, like
Remy.
I see a Riley and I'm like, oh, either he's American. First of all, you're losing out on the foreign opportunities,
Right.
but then you're also like, I guess,
Yeah.
conning these
but,
Arab
okay,
people.
Yeah, I mean, to go back to this, I'm gonna clarify. Like, I don't actually use it seriously. It was more of like a
Meeting people?
2 a.m, kind of like lashing out. Okay, I'll check this out, and then I usually delete it by the morning. This is not
You
the
go on there specifically at 2 a.m.
I just see what's up. Like, I see, okay,
What a time to do that.
You want to see what's up on Tinder at 2 a.m.?
What's the lay of the
There's
land?
only like
What's the lay of the land? Like, I'm like,
What's
all right,
the
what
lay
are
of
we
the land?
dealing with? What are we seeing? Because like I
It's
have
all horny
Open a
dudes like
map.
you.
What
at
do you
2
mean?
a.m.
I'm not doing anything bad. Like, this is what I mean. You're making me feel bad. Like, I went on there and now I'm sweating and like it's like literally like
So no dates, no like
no dates,
talking?
no.
Not one even?
I usually like I'll add it and then I usually delete it. And like it's usually to like have a good laugh with my friends. They're like, oh yeah,
Riley, you can
The whole
you can
Yeah.
100% find you a girl.
Yeah.
I just think that the approach
not good.
is not a good
Yeah.
approach.
No.
How do you wait? Are you would
Because
you,
that's not. I'm not
you
really
didn't
trying.
go on a single date while you were all
No,
traveling
I mean,
the
of course,
world.
because I am like you were saying, I'm self-conscious. Like, oh, it's just like the American guy rolls into town. I actually, in all seriousness,
I didn't call you self-conscious.
No, I'm saying that. Like in all seriousness, Tinder jokes aside, in all seriousness, like I feel like there's something like I don't know. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing because it's like, is it inauthentic? Is it this? I don't know.
Like, are you thinking, oh, they only want me for my visa?
No, I even thinking that is kind of like arrogant to think that, right? To think that, oh, because this girl's from, that's like saying, oh, this lower country, they want my visa. They might like hate, I don't want to curse. They might think America like sucks.
Yeah.
And like, so just assuming, oh, you're from Pakistan, you must really want to go to America.
Well, yes.
It
that's
might
the-
be
But,
true.
like you have to have a little bit of that awareness because if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't, then you're naive.
Yeah.
Right.
And
right.
like they will take advantage
Of
of, you.
course.
Thinking like that means your intentions are kind of pure.
They
Yeah,
are.
of course.
So then like why not
besides
go
the Remy account, don't match with Remy or Remy, or Trust Me Daddy. That one was really successful though. I gotta be honest.
Trust me, daddy.
Honestly, some girls think it's funny. They're like, oh, like they were like, why is that guy's name Trust Me Daddy? And then it starts a conversation like, okay, what's your real name?
Yeah. I think also you're right now in the countries you're in, you have a low chance.
Yeah, very low.
I
I need to get her
date like that.
Yeah, you need to get her dad
Yeah.
on Tinder is really what you need to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So one of the
Oh,
guys
Jed.
at our mosque, he was a little bit of a extreme sheikh, and he was saying that one time he came in, we went for Friday prayer, and he was like, he starts his khutbah, like his what do you call it, sermon?
Yep.
With dads, all the dads in here, you need to make a Tinder account on behalf of your daughters. That's how he started it. And he was
awesome.
being 100%.
I would swipe right on that. Like I feel like that would be a more promising avenue.
You think the dad's gonna say yes?
Well, he was
So
saying
trust
to
me,
make it
Daddy?
on their behalf.
Wait, are we talking about in a Muslim country?
Yeah, well,
For him.
For me.
well, I'm just saying in general
Right.
that he was saying make it on the behalf of the daughter
Right.
and then talk on her behalf.
Oh,
That's messed up.
That's,
Not like as like
that
a
is
dad.
that's a catfish.
Yeah, not an app.
That's a whole
That's
Riley.
for dads or
No,
parents.
I didn't.
Which, by the way, why don't they have that? Like, you could very well have like parents who are representing. It's
That's
like
what
an
a
agent.
restaurant auntie is.
Yeah.
I know, but they don't have an app.
They have their WhatsApp
I don't want
groups
to. I
and
don't want to
stuff.
speak too much on this because I'm gonna start
a good
developing this
idea.
now.
Wow.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
But they have those
Like-
situations.
Have the parents have like they'd be like the agent for their daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally down with this. Like, I think it's way more
Or their
efficient.
sons, like
Or their sons, yeah.
Yeah. The way we do it in America, like, it's so messed up. It's like, I watch people go down this, I just confessed my own Tinder habit in this case. That wasn't a shining
A
moment.
habit now.
But I see, it's not a habit. I see how people actually use it in all seriousness. And it's like, it's such a dead end for so many people. I know some people that they're very intentional and it works out, but it's like, take someone out, like have a date. Like, it's like this whole back and forth. Like, one time I did ask a girl out here, just went up and was like, I don't have a lot of games. So I was like, look, I think you're cool. I was like, would love to take you out on a date. That's pretty much what I said. She didn't say yes. She didn't say no. She said, follow me on Instagram. And see, that is where we're at in the dating realm in America. It's like,
because she gains a follower and doesn't have to.
but
Pursue the relationship.
my
But?
friend,
That's it.
but we did end up going on a date. She just wanted to get in the DMs. She hit me up. She hit me up in the DMs later. I was shocked and was like, hey, let's actually like hang out. Let's go out.
Whoa,
And
pass a vibe check.
I mean, it ends with me getting ghosted, but the point is,
you did not pass the vibe
the
check.
point is, no,
Did
I
you,
mean, we had to-
did you pay?
too.
Did you pay for the dinner?
Yeah, I mean, like not totally. No, I don't think so. We got Popeyes, I think.
Nice.
That was a date.
Listen, because
That is a date. That is a
After
date.
2 days of
her plan-
Popeyes, that's worth the ghost.
her plan
Yo.
could be that.
No,
this
she
is what
suggested
does.
it. She suggested it.
She could hit up guy or like people that walk up to her. She could say, "Follow me on IG."
Yeah.
Go through with a date.
I think she gave me water though.
Get free, Riley. No, you got played. She
got
does
played.
this. She does
Or a
this.
chicken sandwich.
She asks. I mean,
I
some
know.
people are down bad.
I knew a girl who used to do it for like. She used to have a date set up from dating
Yeah.
apps just for dinner every night.
She
Yeah.
probably got a schedule. like,
that's
okay,
a life.
But
Riley
you
on this
only
day-
you only got played if you really like if it bothered you. Like I don't mind giving out a chicken sandwich every now and then. to get some attention. Are you kidding me?
You're too
That is
nice.
that is a drop in the bucket. Like I got a full night with a pretty woman. I mean, it's a chicken
Damn.
sandwich.
You're
Damn,
so
that's sweet,
sweet.
dude.
Isn't that nice?
So innocent.
Yeah.
You're an old head already. I feel like
Yeah.
that's something like, I had the nicest
I got
chicken
something out of
sandwich
it.
with
a nice pretty lady.
If you're listening to this, like it was really nice. Like if you want to have another chicken sandwich, like let's do it.
Even after she ghosted you.
Are you?
Yeah.
Do you feel like?
slight ghosting?
Do you feel like at this
Slight
point, whoever? I mean, I don't know if you're looking, but like, if you want to end up with somebody,
Yeah, sure.
do they have to be on the same level as you as far as like
Traveling and stuff.
well, just knowledge, experience, open mindedness, or are you looking for a foreign baddie?
That's a really hard question.
There's Christian foreign baddies everywhere.
No. I mean, to be honest, like, from that standpoint, like this, I don't really, I can't be, I'm not in a position to be discriminating on the basis of anything, religion, culture, anything. With that being said, I recognize that there are definitely certain things that you have to be aware of and recognize when you're doing like the multicultural thing. I think a lot of people just like get on Instagram, like, and just like, are like, oh, look at that, like, biracial couple that looks so sweet, but like there is a lot to that, it's
like they're just fascinated with the idea of it.
fascinated with the idea or fetishizing the idea of it, right? So, but there's a lot to it, but there's a lot to any relationship at the end of the day. I don't really have any preference. I'm not in a position to be that picky, to be honest with you. I'm pretty open.
So I'm
so
taking
like,
what I can get.
I feel like
I think we'll drop the Instagram. Like honestly, like I think I'm really open. What I'll say, I get what you're saying. Like if you're traveling and you're living this certain way, could you date somebody who's not doing that?
Like one of our great native Belarians.
Yeah, I think I totally could, because at the end of the day, I value that community. I think at the end of the day, this life, it's not permanent. Like this
What?
like life.
Wow.
You think so?
No, I mean like when you talk to like older people, like I befriend a lot of old people when I travel too, and you talk to them. I actually lived in a community of old people in Mexico by accident, and I made a lot of friends with them because I love old people. You feel like there's something missing, right? Like they got all these crazy experiences, they saw all these crazy things, but like they're missing something. Like Where's their family? Where's their grandkids? Where's, and you see that. I'm not saying that what they did was make the wrong decision, but you understand.
You see there's an emptiness
basically
that you
want
wouldn't want.
You want to settle at one point.
Yeah, there's a trade-off. At the end of the day, it's like you keep going out and having experiences, or you settle down and you have that family and legacy.
Well, you told me that one time. You were like, I feel like all this time I've spent basically traveling, because you can't stay home for long. You're always going somewhere. And you were like, you were saying that, that you can't get used to another lifestyle, and you might be missing out on potential opportunities. It was something like that you were saying.
It's just about like when it's really hard to like, we're so busy. Like we just have all these things here to distract us. Like, because we live in like a country like this, and we do a lot of things that are kind of nuts that we don't even realize. And like, until you remove yourself from that and remove yourself from your group of friends and your routine and your Friday nights, you don't realize some of that stuff. You don't reflect on some of that stuff until you realize. So it could be something as simple as like learning a new dish, or a new diet, or a way of, thinking, or just having a conversation with somebody. It might be the smallest thing, but it's like, I feel like I'm accumulating those over time, and kind of just selfishly, kind of creating my own way to, I don't know, approach the world.
I feel like in this podcast, you've attracted a lot of people. Like,
in what way?
I mean, like the things that you're saying, like there were no red flags.
Yeah.
There was actually like,
that's
oh my God,
true.
he's sweet. Like,
I feel like that's a red flag in itself, that there were no red flags.
I think Remy was the red flag.
I think that was the biggest red flag.
Thank you for being honest. Yeah.
But
I think
aside
Remy,
from that, like I
Riley,
think
Riley
that,
really has no red flags.
yeah.
It's
like-
scary. Like,
But I told you guys
you'd
about
be
Remy, so-
suspicious.
Like he's
and
too
also,
honest.
like, and being too honest is probably helping him, because he was like, I didn't want to give out my real name, which is a better excuse than, I just wanted to track those.
But then one of his friends are gonna be like, brother, there's like this guy. His name is Remy. He looked just like you.
I want to date
This
him.
is back in Tunis.
What's next for you? Like, where do you go from here? Do you stick with this job? Is there something greater you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, next we're actually going to start traveling. So we're set
To
to
school.
Go. Yeah, we're set to go to Botswana, which is near South Africa.
South Africa, yeah.
And we're going to be out in the middle of nowhere, and it's going to be the first time post COVID. It's going to be really interesting, and I'm going to be the first staff member to actually get there, inshallah. So
Wow.
throw some inshallahs around, But seriously though,
Look, he's
because-
playing us now.
Yeah.
Once I said there's definitely people interested, he was
Yeah,
like,
it's
"Oh,
like,
let me throw this in there."
Yeah, let me
impress her a little
What
bit.
Drake line can I use right now? TV watching Al Jazeera. Inshallah. Hope the mission keeps on getting clear. Ride with the mob.
What's up?
That's not Drake, but
No, but
Alhamdulillah.
there you go. There you go. He threw alhamdulillah out
Yeah,
there.
I know how to do it. Yeah, I can.
you'll
do
see the kids for the first time.
it.
Is it
Yeah.
wait? Is it the same kids?
It's
Or a
going to
new
be some new kids, but yeah, some graduated. But yeah, we got the kids, and
That's exciting.
yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with it and just see where it goes. I agree with you. Like, I want to think about how to document this. Learning and figuring out where to go from here. But at this stage, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah. Also, I wanted
I don't know.
to touch on it before, but like, you're so honest, and we were talking about like fake travel influencers. Like,
Yeah.
I think we need your perspective on the internet
Mhm.
as someone who's so honest and like actually
Culturally
likes
aware
cultural-
too. Like
Yeah.
he attempts to.
I feel like a day in a life would even just be like so great.
yeah,
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Well, also you're a really good teacher because your dad has been that for a while.
Yep.
He encouraged and influenced you to kind of go in that field. But all these jobs you said with Teach for America, and like you were doing a lot of mission work, and then ROC, and now this. It's all involves teaching, and I think that your perspective is not like I'm all knowing. It's like I'm a student. I'm still exploring, and to pass that on to the kids that you teach, I think is really special.
yeah. And it's because I've had a lot of moments where I realize, how much I don't know, and then it's just like humbling, and yeah.
You've also gotten made fun of a lot by the kids.
Yeah, the kids, they roast me. Like, people, they just roast you. They're just like, what is up?
You've been the white guy in
Yeah.
like an all black school. You've been the white guy in all culture, different like
Yeah.
people from all different places. So like just having that kind of perspective is, I feel like, humbling, but also, you know, makes you want to do it more and go harder.
Yeah, and I can take it. Like I think it's fun. Like at the end of the day, and they're kids. And at the end of the day, like if you're working with kids and you're frustrated, you see all these teachers, they're burnt out, they're really struggling right now, and I feel for them. But like they're just kids. Like you know, they don't mean everything they say. You know, just keep you know loving them and working with them and get through it. You know.
We're definitely going to be working on projects in the future, because I think Riley's a really great person to have in that. But for right now, you can look for Riley maybe to make a little guest appearance on an upcoming project by Rono Pono.
Ooh.
So you were actually one of the first people that we had in the videos a long time ago. So people still remember you from that.
Did I get any love in the comments?
You got a lot of love in the comments. People actually thought that you were a Pathan from Pakistan, which like people that live in that area, they're lighter skinned, they have green eyes like you. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you fit in. You fit in from the beginning. Where can people follow you online? Do you want that or?
Yeah, they can follow me right now, probably Instagram
at Remy.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
If you're on Tinder, my account has been deleted, but maybe we'll be back one day. I don't know, Remy. But no, Riley.
He said hit him in the DMs at.
Yep. Riley Battaglia on Instagram. You'll probably have to put it in the description or something.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description.
But yeah, that's it pretty much right now.
Awesome. Riley, thank you so much for being here. You're a special person.
Yeah.
And we love you.
Thank you.
I'm blessed to be your friend.
Thank you all. This is really fun. Yeah, this is nice.
Thank you everybody for listening to another episode of Strange Flavors. Oh wait, real quick. Are you still Very Berry on your flavor? Last time you picked Very Berry.
I think I am very berry because it's like the colors. You know, I wear a lot of color. Well, he's looking like that right now, but
yeah, amber
very
and chocolate
berry.
showed with a floral.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna be very berry.
Nice.
I almost made a switch to pistachio, but no.
All right, it's been another week,
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.
How could I know?